You know that death is inevitable. But that's the beauty of it. You can't change it. You can only change the perspective you take on it. The premise of this video comes from a conversation I had 2 years ago at university. So at the time, I was talking to this girl, and I think the question was why I shouldn't just buy her a fake rose as opposed to a real rose. Because at the time, I thought a fake rose would be so much better. It would last longer, it looks better for a greater period of time, there's no thorns or anything that could hurt you, and it won't get damaged as easy. So I thought, yeah, I'll just get you a fake rose. But then her counter to this was very beautiful. She said this: the fact that you know that a real rose is going to die makes you appreciate it much more. And that is the beauty of death. If, for example, human life lasted forever, we all became immortal, would we really appreciate anything? Because think about it. All the little things you do, the goals you work towards, the feelings you have, if you experience those things forever, you don't appreciate them. And then some people will say, to argue this, that, oh, I wish I was immortal so I could, experience all the pleasure in the world all the time for the rest of eternity. But really think about it, like really put your brain into it. Do you not think you'd get bored of it? Like there's no value to it anymore. It doesn't make sense. And so the beauty of life is actually death. Because you know that once something starts, it has to come to an end, inevitably, no matter what it is. And especially for human life. Once life begins, it has to end. So in instinct, I feel like people would say that they kind of fear death, or like they don't like the idea of death. That's fine, because if they have that one perspective, they don't know the other perspectives you can take on death, which are actually more positive. Another perspective you can take, though I wouldn't recommend it if you can't really handle it, is the fact that because death is inevitable, you should work hard prior to the inevitable last day which you will be alive. Because when we're distracting ourselves, we kind of forget the fact that we don't have unlimited time on this earth. And if we constantly distract ourselves, we can go through our whole life and not do anything until like the last few moments where you realize, wait, I just wasted all that time doing nothing. It's only then you will realize that fact. But now, since you kind of know that, since I've told you that, and hopefully you've been listening, now you know that all that time which you have been wasting before, you can't do anything about that. But all the time in the future now, which you could be distracted with, in the sense that you may know you'll be on your phone a few hours every day in the future. Now you know that maybe that's not the right thing to do. Because time is limited in this life, why not just work on your goals? Why not work on the things that'll actually make you happy? Because you don't have all the time in the world. In fact, we don't know the timer, but there is a time ticking until your final day. And there is nothing in the world you can do to stop that. You can't change the inevitable. So live your life. Don't distract yourself doing meaningless, pointless things. You know that death is inevitable. But that's the beauty of it. You can't change it. You can only change the perspective you take on it. So do the beautiful things. Pursue your passions. Pursue your goals, what you actually want to do in your life. Because when it comes, and those final few moments come in your life, or final few days, you won't think about all the meaningless stuff you did. You'll think about the happy memories that you've created, the legacy you've built, the fulfillment that you brought upon yourself. You don't want to be in a position where you're on that deathbed, for example, and you don't have anything to remember. So my final advice is that death is actually a beautiful thing in this world. And we are so lucky to actually have it, to be living and eventually not be living. Because it actually makes us appreciate everything more in our life. Because we know that we won't have something forever. That's just not how the world works. And if you can really understand that, I know you know it, but if you can truly understand that fact, you will know that wasting your time doing pointless things is just not worth it. It's not worth it at all. You don't have that much time. So appreciate your life, do the stuff that you want to do, and actually pursue your goals. And make sure that when that final time comes, you have lived the life that has made you happy. Thank you.